Retro anime. How did we find it? How does it hold up? Unpacking the ins and outs of being an old school nerd and proving that 80s kids can't remember a damn thing right. These are the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd.
Welcome to Mindless Midlife Musings of the Anime Nerd. I'm Rick, and I'm joined by the rest of our panel, Vic, Brian, and Lynette. Hello, everyone.
And I'm sorry.
Hello.
And
You can't
Brian
apologize
is
right off the bat.
sorry.
And I'm sorry.
In today's episode, we relocate to Tron City and uncover the mystery of the Caizer stones with Isato in Voltage Fighter Gowkaizer. Voltage Fighter Gowkaizer is a three-part OVA released in 1997, produced and animated by JC Staff and directed by original video game designer Masami Obari. The Western release was produced by US Manga Corps and edited into a single feature-length film later. Now, to help illustrate the timeline here, the game came out in 1995, Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer. The OVA, three-part series, came out in 1996, and the international movie cut came out in 1997. The plot expands on the lore of the game, with Isato Caizer seeking to learn the mystery behind the Caizer stones and their recipients.
Yes, it expands on the lore of the game without giving you any of the lore from the game.
That's all I wrote about the plot, because we got to talk about this plot. All right, so...
They didn't follow it. They didn't
Oh,
follow
look.
it. They didn't follow. They didn't follow it.
They did
Are you
something.
okay with it?
They had
They
a
did
bunch of
something.
teenage boys making the outfits. I swear, the
Oh,
girls'
man.
hoo-ha outfits became a double thong, and I don't know how that worked out.
Magic.
And if their boobies could go out of sync, I don't know what happened.
That's
They
one of my
they
notes.
They just went all
Obariism.
over.
Yeah, that
and
is
then
one of my notes, that the jiggle
everyone-
physics were insane. They were
Then
just
every once
next
in a while
level.
they go together, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
"That's how there's yes, do that,
Yeah,
do that."
That's that.
And then,
Yeah.
then one girl had nips so far up that when she ran, I'm surprised she didn't blind herself.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like this.
There you go.
I was
Well,
like,
that's
I
going to be
don't
our
think
show
that-
for today. So
Keep calm, man. Put your nips in the
keep
right place.
calm and
But
So
I-
wait,
but I
as
will
she
say-
said this, she's pointing both thumbs straight up into the air.
that's
Straight
how
up
it
to the-
is, without
But
a
I
doubt.
will say this: they are equal opportunity.
I
because
have
we
that
had,
note too.
We had man crotch, we had man V's, we had sports bra men,
Yep.
we had booby covers for men,
Crop
men in
tops. We
crop
had
tops.
everything.
We had it all. Like if you
Yes.
didn't like the coochie thongs,
Yeah.
you had the you had the whoa, what's going on
Yeah.
with this, and let that thing move down a little bit lower, and we'll see more to the show. But that's
They-
it. That's it.
They had it. This was equal opportunity.
See, I said I had to get it out.
It was good.
Oh.
You did warn
And then
us.
we
You
had-
did warn
then we
us.
Anti Gambit. I was done. I was after that. I was like, he
God
is my favorite
damn it.
character. Have more of him, and we're good.
Fuck.
We're good.
All right. I love it. So I will start with some notes, just real quick. The OVAs are the three-part things. Is that what we all watch? I just want to establish. Did we all watch the OVAs, the three
Yes.
individual episodes that were hashed together? Okay. All right, cool. That's great, because that means we'll all be talking about the exact same thing. Because as it turns out, the international version is a dramatically different thing. I didn't know it was a dramatically different thing until, because I love you guys, I watched the international movie version on top of this three-part OVA series.
Oh God, I was about to say, don't
You
make me
butt
dig it
attack
out of the
Punisher
DVD
girl
box.
yourself.
I did. I butt attack Punisher Girl myself. And I saved you
on,
guys
come
the
on.
trouble.
Have we gotten to the where we start giving like extra credit and honor roll and shit like that?
No, I wanted you to know, because I'm going to talk about it. And this, I swear to
Okay.
you, there is merit to the fact that I did this, because it has given me information that I was not aware of. All right, so
Oh, okay.
let's do this, and then I'll touch base on that. All right, here we
Okay.
go. So this motherfucking anime the fuck? All right, after a very brief introduction to the characters via an action sequence, Isato is working out in a gym Captain America style. And we're just like,
you
"Aight,
leave
cool."
Steve Rogers out of this. You leave my homie Steve out of this, and you pick somebody else that's been in the gym. I don't
Rocky
know.
Balboa. Rocky Balboa. I will do that. You know what? I'm with you. I love Cap too much to do that to him. All right. He's working out in a gym, and
I like Rocky too. Damn, it's a sacrifice.
yeah.
Who do got sacrifice?
He's getting his workout in before being annoyed almost completely to death by introduction of a character named Karen, who sucks. So
Sucks.
He has nothing except
She-
for
useless.
I don't know what she was going
She's
for.
No,
utterly-
I
she is
just
the
want to
Go
make
ahead.
sure.
yeah.
All the people who are in our showcase, are they actual playable characters?
Yes.
Okay, so all
Almost.
the main characters in this anime are playable characters in the game, including and not limited to the siblings. They're not playable, but they are one of the bosses.
They're a sub boss.
They're
They're
Sagat.
sub-boss. They're
Yeah.
Sagat, exactly. And the main character, the main villain, the M Bison. He's Andy Bogart M Bison. He's not playable, but he's in the game. And but I will say that the noseless death bitch, she ain't in the game.
I call her 90s. What's the name from Naruto?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
mother. Yeah,
There you go.
Oh,
Our
yeah,
Mama's
her.
mom.
Okay.
So she ain't in the game. And a bunch of the characters that are in the game have
Nowhere to be
small, very tiny cameos in this anime.
even.
If you could call it that. Well, literally one of the characters in the game is announced by name during roll call. That's it. You don't even see the character. They just say the character's name. And you're just like, okay, that's what they're doing. Anyway, so yes, so he almost gets annoyed to death by Karen immediately, wanting for me to kill her. You know what she is?
Not
She's
just-
like Merle.
Look, not only
Yes,
does he
she
get
is.
annoyed to death, we all
we all
get
do.
annoyed.
So they speed off to school because of whatever, and they just have a casual conversation while speeding along the highway with Shia, one of the other main characters. And I know that every time I'm speeding down the highway, speaking with the window down, talking to some perfectly normal conversation. Anyway,
No bugs in the mouth. It's cool.
there's a joke made at the expense of Shia's weight, which is ridiculous because the girl is all stick and boobs. There's like nothing else there. But whatever. And then we get to, and I'm so glad, I am so glad this character wasn't used more in the anime. But we get to this anime's Joe Higashi, the cop guy on the motorcycle talking to his friend. I'm like, oh my god, it's Joe Higashi. It's Joe from Fatal Fury. Thankfully, he only shows up in like one more scene, and we never have to put up with his ass the rest of the anime. But he's there, and I'm like, all right, cool. That's the thing about this, right? Like, as I go through this anime, it's like roll call. I'm like, oh, there's Terry Bogard. Oh, there's Andy Bogard. Oh, there's Joe Higashi. Oh, there's Geese Howard. Like, I was doing the Fatal Fury roll call as we watched this. So
I can't wait
I'm gonna-
to tell you my note about this.
I'm-
About this thing. I can't wait.
I'm gonna start with this. I started this anime in English, and
I'm sorry.
stopped.
Switched
I stopped
Switched.
watching it in English. I switched.
because
the-
we don't
the
speak
English-
like this.
The English voice actor for Karen she was trying to be the most annoying human possible, and she was killing it. So, as annoying as Karen, the character is, she's that much worse with the English dub on. I lasted.
So glad I didn't watch it.
like the
then.
I
annoyance
timed
to
it.
the
I
fourth
lasted
power.
22 minutes. I lasted 22 minutes, and I'm like, no. And I
Well-
switched to the Japanese dialogue.
Look. I would like to say for the record that
Yeah.
I did the whole thing in English.
Oh, you
Why would you
Are-
do that to yourself?
are a glutton for punishment.
Hey.
They're
you
all
trying to
bad.
He's building karma points.
That's
what
what
it
he's
is.
doing.
Yeah.
They
I was
are
about to say, because I thought I hated myself, but Jesus.
guys. They are all look. I am an English voice actor. Okay, I respect the art, but good God, it's not their fault, right? They got cast as these characters.
Yeah.
The English dub is miscast. It's really miscast. The
Well,
voice coming
the
out
anime,
of
the anime voice pool back then was significantly smaller.
the voice actor for Hentai Gambit, Lynette's favorite character, he's really miscast in the English dub.
Oh,
Very
so glad I
miscast.
didn't
Time
watch
out,
it
time
in
out, time
English.
out, time out. Hentai Gib, I think we're talking about the guy with the wings.
Yes,
Mhm.
we're talking about Hellstinger. Cash.
Hentai Gambit. You didn't see
He's-
that? As
he's-
soon
No,
as he
no,
showed
no,
up, I
no.
was like, "That's Hentai Gambit."
no.
The neck thing, the eyes,
He's
the
got that
purple
weird
that came out of him,
top with the thing and the-
boob top. I mean, the
S&M.
crotch thing.
Yeah.
He had the V. He did man cleavage to the point where like he wore a plunge bra down near his crotch. That's basically what
yeah.
he did.
That
He
shit was
did man
amazing.
cleavage.
Yeah,
He was entertainment for any female. I'm telling
he
you.
was
That's it. He was the reason why I kept watching. Because after
There you
that,
go.
I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, good Lord. All right, so
I'm going to get to him. I
they
can't
get
wait.
to there you go. Him,
Look,
that's our boy. All right, so look, they
look.
get to
before
yeah.
you do that, before you say that,
Yes.
Net, right now, I have a pressure cooker of emotion.
Is that what that high pitch whine is?
Oh, yeah. I have
Building
a
up.
pressure cooker of emotion. And I'm doing my damnedest to keep
I'm
it.
so- I'm really proud of you.
You gotta let it out.
You got to
Oh,
though.
no.
Let's go.
This
Because-
is the one. This is the release anime. It's gotta be because that's all
This-
it was.
Look, because I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. And
A specific moment.
no, not
Brian,
no,
Brian, there's not going to be an enlightening moment for you this
I
episode.
don't have one of them.
Look. I hope I have the enlightening moment for y'all.
All right.
But I'm afraid that if I go in and Vic says something like, blah 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 smorgasbord, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, I have learned. I have
He's
learned
waiting
not
till
to.
the end.
Just to make sure, I respect that.
Yeah,
This,
no,
um,
I can
am
assure you at
tired.
this very moment, I don't have one of those moments for you this episode.
Look, it doesn't have to necessarily come from you. It can come from anybody. I already know how Lynette feels about Hentai Gambit. Okay, I know I can wait. You motherfuckers have burned me way too many times. Look, at some point in
Jesus,
time
man,
we
I
have to
fixed the rub on
realize.
my back. Don't make me laugh.
Oh fuck.
Nah, at some point in time we have to realize that people who review this may look at us as quote unquote experts at this.
Wow.
And y'all-
we horribly
yeah.
fooled them then.
I hope so.
Yeah, no. I'm saying it's better
right.
to be
This is
quiet
fine.
and be a fool than to
All right.
speak and remove all doubt.
All right, that's fair. So, this animation is probably the most Masami Obari anime to Masami Obari, without a doubt.
For sure.
First of all, maybe it might be. I don't know. Virus Buster Surge exists. All right, so
As does Angel Blade.
there's this Angel Blade. This motherfucking teacher ninja warps into the room and immediately punishes our
Wow.
hero, which was just
like
what,
why? Like
what
what
are
was
we
the
doing?
whole-
What?
what was the purpose
What was
of that whole
what's that?
scene?
Absolutely.
That
fucking-
was a reverse catfish. I was expecting like some old
Right.
dude with a beard and
Yeah,
all and
no.
the pervy thing, and then you pull out Hot for Teacher, and I'm just like, what
Yeah,
the hell
you
is
just got
going on? I don't
dark
know.
haired. You got dark haired Andy Bogard with his Meta Ray Bans on, and that was
Right?
it. And I
Look,
was just like,
every-
oh, I
All he was missing was like some call girls at his back and a Lamborghini or Ferrari sitting in the parking lot, and that was it.
Oh, fuck.
You know, I was like, what
Did
the hell
everybody have to
happened?
look fucking stunning in there? Did they have
Everyone.
to give
everyone
had
had the sexiest eyes and eyelashes. Like they were
Even the
all just
fucking
Obariism.
Yeah.
geek.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
the geek.
Yes, yeah. Which is a character from the game.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then you find out all these motherfuckers are in junior high school. Or juniors
Yes.
in high school. They're all juniors in high, not in junior high. They're juniors in high. They're 11th graders. And he's just like, oh, okay. Because based on the
Yes.
amount of clothing these people are wearing, this is very problematic. So we get introduced to a new character. They almost run into him on the way to school, but it's not really important. And his name's Kyosuke. And he shows up, and he's the only one in a uniform.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said it wrong. I'm sorry.
I
My bad.
apologize.
That's my bad.
Try again. Yeah. I was.
All right. He's the only one who's out douching everybody else.
Without a doubt. He is
Mhm.
all emotions. So yeah, this dub is insufferable. This is the moment where I wrote the note, this dub is insufferable. So then we get, it's the whole classroom scene is not important. What is important is that then we get this huge batshit crazy info dump meeting thing where teacher
Okay,
guy is meeting with some kind of council of elders or some shit, and they talk about the equator shifting and how the Bernard Institute's principal is making the equator shift, which how do you make an equator shift anyway? And he's the principal of a school, but he's like the messiah, but he's like under the influence of a vague alien force, and it's the most obtuse plot dump I've ever heard. It makes no fucking sense at all.
It was what was that dwarf guy when he was saying we were on a road, but not so much a road, but a path, but not so much a path, but a thing.
Yeah,
And we were walking over to my brother's sister's cousin's uncle over there, and then that's kind of what it reminded me of.
and it happens multiple times in this anime.
Yes.
They do this. I have a whole note later on about Hentai Gambit giving a speech that makes no goddamn sense. Anyway,
And the worst part is we don't know if it's a translation issue or if that was accurately
we really
translated.
don't. So 22 minutes in, that's how long it took for me to give up and switch to Japanese audio. Thank God I did, because it made it more tolerable. And it was right about that point that we get an obligatory shower scene, because we had to have one of those. And how has Ball Boy never seen Shia nude before? He's basically Siri with hands. Like that. Why does he not?
And nosebleeds.
Like that's, yeah, and his
Right?
nose can bleed. Like I don't. Anyway,
Thought more Wally.
well, wow, burbles. All right, so the
We get that now. We get the voice acting. Okay, fair enough.
I need that as a clip.
So it's this thing that happens here, and I mistakenly gave them credit for doing something I thought was going to be cool. And by the way, it takes 24 minutes to get to the first actual fight in this fighting game anime. I want you to note that. I wrote that down.
Which is an issue.
It's a big issue. So
That's an issue.
I think it's an even bigger issue once you realize you don't get any of the backstory really.
right. So
No.
the main character Kyosuke, you notice I said the main character Kyosuke? That's a point. Kyosuke, he's the student with the purple hair guy. He gets sucked into another dimension like straight out of Ixer 1. Like that was the first thing I thought. I was like, "Oh, we're in an alternate dimension." I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool. So this is how they're going to
Did
do
you
it. They're gonna
use that
fight
voice?
like in
did you use
alternate
that voice?
dimensions." And-
That's your inside voice?
That's his inside voice. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was how you.
no, that's not
you
my
sound like
inside
inside-
voice.
Okay.
No, my inside voice is like, "Jeepers, Eddie." My inside voice is a completely different thing.
Jesus, mine is a movie voice guy.
Holy shit, Batman! All right, so they get sucked into some alternate dimension thing to fight, which I thought that was going to be a neat plot point, and it's never fucking done again.
Never.
They did
No,
it
it's
for
not.
this, and it's never done again. And
It
apparently,
was
the only
beautiful too.
I thought it was
Look,
a neat idea.
Actually,
I
I
get
don't think
it.
they do it again, but I think they do it in reverse. At
Like,
the
they
end, when he
leave
first
the room?
walks in,
Yeah.
and he dispelled the genjutsu.
Yeah.
I think that's that whole thing in reverse.
Okay.
So
I
I
well,
I
maybe.
could be wrong.
Well,
It's
it
not like
would
I'm
be
an expert.
nobody fucking explained it, so how would we know, right?
Yeah.
So it's the whole alternate dimension thing is just so that Osaki can basically taunt Kyosuke with his sister's ghost ethereal form thing. It's a whole thing. Basically, I'm not going to bury the lead. Kyosuke's the main character of this entire fucking anime,
Yeah.
but he's not the main character of this anime. The main character of this anime is Isato, the Gowcaizer. But the entire story is about this Kyosuke guy and his sister and their relationship with the main villain and all that. That's the story. But Isato's the main character.
Okay,
we got rosebudded. We got rosebudded.
No, I actually know what this is. I actually have a good idea. You know how you can play the video game as the main character?
For sure. You can play it as Ryu.
Their story?
Yeah.
You play as Ryu, and then you come back and you play as Dawson.
Sure. Yeah. No.
This was Ryu stories in the background, and we're playing as Dawson right now.
I was going to go Guile, but yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. We are playing as a different character. This anime is the storyline for one of the other characters, not the main character. But he's in it, and he has to get the final hit and all that shit. Like, he gets all the... I don't know. Isato's kind of useless. So, we get... So, yeah, like 24 minutes in, we get this first scene with this like, interplay between Kyosuke and Osaki or whatever. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, we cut and we get some backstory for the siblings. And they do this like flashback scene for the siblings. She's sick and dying, and they were following him like a messiah. And he's like, I'm going to give you these crystals. Y'all going to be badass. And they're like, all right, tight. We're going to do that for you. And then they do that.
It went just like that, too.
Exactly like that. And then I'm like, oh, so these are their siblings. So, and then I'm like, wait, are they like,
are
they like,
Deep South siblings?
And then, sure as shit, next scene, yes, they are. They are absolutely that.
When he said, I will not fault you for what you do, I'm like, oh, this is...
Yeah, I was, we're doing that. Okay.
The thing about it is, they have a choice. And when I say they, I'm talking about Masario. You know what I'm saying? He had a choice he made these characters like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked for this fucking shit.
Nobody, but they were just like, and it could have been a perfectly innocent sibling, like looking out. No, we had to go all the way down that rabbit hole.
It could have been like best friend brother thing. I could have understood that. But
sure.
It's not.
It could have been big brother protecting little sister because she was sick, and they could have done. No, we had to go all the way, man.
Oh, yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
We had to go full incest.
Yeah,
we had to do full on. So why did they get the cool looking combo thing? I thought that was a cool. I was like, I don't like those characters.
Yeah,
but you give them the cool.
Yeah, they have the neat Metamucil twins thing, and it's I don't know what that is. Yeah. So it's this. I wrote the note because it made me chuckle. Basically, it's Kyosuke is like in an alley, or in the street, and his ass has been handed to him, and Isato picks him up and saves him and brings him back to his place, and he calls him a street fighter. Sorry, made me chuckle.
Look, you know what made me chuckle?
You also have to explain the scene. Dude walks out in a ponytail, a sports bra, and booty biker shorts. And picks up a man. I don't know. Quite literally picks up a man.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Lynette,
you
that.
painted it perfectly. That's exactly what it was. God help me. It was amazing. And then he puts him in his bed. He gets him naked, bandages him up, and puts him in his bed.
And then the next time you see him, his back is to him with the booty shorts, the sports bra, and the ponytail.
Amazing. It's amazing.
You know, they say something here when during one of the. I know it's not this time.
Yeah.
They're trying to have a conversation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the conversation, I think they're talking to Karen, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's right after Kiosuke and Terry Bogart. I mean, not
Isato.
Terry. Yeah, Isato, right? After that, and they're trying to explain what's going on, right? And he's trying to tell them about what the power of the crystals is and everything like that. But Karen's speaking
Yes.
during this part.
Yes.
And if you didn't watch it in the dub, you would have missed by far one of the best insults ever.
What?
Go ahead.
He says to her, she starts talking, he's like, quiet. And he basically says that beauty is the antithesis of intelligence.
He says something similar in the Japanese version too. It's
And
great.
I
It's
was
great.
like, you're a fucking dick. Because
Yeah, that's great.
when he said that, I was like, damn, so I just want to remind you, all you other motherfuckers look hot too.
Yeah.
So
You're not wrong.
are all of y'all dumb as shit?
They're just all
Huh.
yes.
Yeah,
As a
we
matter of
are.
fact, they are all
We
dumb as shit. So I'm gonna speed along here because let's be honest, this plot is very, very thin. Isato and Hellstinger end up fighting Hentai Gambit. They end up fighting because reasons, and then you find out he's like testing him, and then the incest twins show up, and they're like, "No, we're the ones that are supposed to fight him," and you're like,
test him.
okay, whatever. And then they Wonder Twins power activate, turn into the Metamucil twins, and they're gonna show Isato the power of love, and they kick his ass.
Look, I was like, now we're bringing the fifth element into this now.
Mm-hmm.
So they fucking do this shit. By the way, I'm
With
gonna
the
stop right now.
wrong group, with the wrong couple. If someone
Yeah.
said to me, "The power of love of my brother or my sister,"
Yeah.
I'd be like, then
Mm,
I don't want none of that.
No, we out.
Mm.
Peace.
It's like
yeah, that's tight.
the rest
Thanks
of
for
us
that.
have siblings. Like I can imagine you doing this with having the power. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that.
You
because
better check yourself.
Right?
Just admit it. We
Pause
all got
and,
siblings.
properly think out
might,
what you're gonna
we might
say.
be knocking on your door, Brian. You gotta be careful.
look, I'm
Choose your
saying
next words wisely.
we all have siblings, and we all
Yes.
don't love them this way.
This correct. Yes.
Yeah, that is correct.
That's
would
what I
hope
was
not.
trying to say.
You
So
know,
I
you got
said,
it.
Okay.
This would have been a horrible measure.
Yeah.
Love for your
yes.
sibling.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Terrible metric.
Metric.
Yes.
That's the word I'm looking
That's
for.
a terrible metric.
It's like
yes.
it's like you got that from the SAT. Are you smart?
No, I'm too beautiful to be smart. All right. So I want to point out that the fact that Isato doesn't have a special attack called the Caizer roll is a fucking travesty.
Or a Kaiser wave.
Or yeah, just Caizer roll is all I was looking
No,
for.
I think Caizer roll would have been awesome because
Caizer roll would have been
You know what?
fantastic.
they actually a lot of these attack moves sound like some type of dish.
They're like pastries. Yeah, the fact that there was no Caizer roll made me very sad.
I'm actually checking the
Um,
guide right now.
Like one of the rules. One of the moves is Bernie, not
Yeah.
burning.
Bernie. Yeah.
I was like,
And he's got the mitts on, the top 1% of. Anyway.
There
Hey,
is
look.
a Kaiser strike.
Yeah, of course there is. So Karen shows up. Good, Karen's here. Yay! She gets electric X-rayed into her clothing. You're just like, oh, that's what. Okay, whatever. Isato wins.
and what's her
and
weapon
then-
of choice?
it's
The Kaiser suplex.
giant rod.
It's a
a
shower
stripper
curtain.
pole. She uses a stripper pole.
No,
Yeah.
Karen
no.
uses a stripper
Again, I can't let you besmirch the honorable profession of stripper.
pole. This is fair.
I
Shower
have
curtain
to-
rod.
I have
I'll
to
give you
shower
that.
curtain rod.
Shower curtain rod. That's fine. I'll go with it. Isato wins, and then
no fighting, boys. Fuck you.
yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you.
He wins, and the Metamucil twins get beamed up. At this point, I didn't realize the brother was like dead. I just thought he was like KO dead, but he was dead.
that's the way it works with these fighting animes.
And that's like episode 1, right? Asaki gets his ass chewed out by noseless demon bitch, and that's like the end of episode 1. So episode 2 starts with Kyosuke and his bitch, pun completely intended.
Yes.
And they're scoping out some place, and Shia shows up. Whatever.
Oh,
doesn't
you're
matter.
a motherfucker. You're that was smooth.
Thank you.
He shows up with the Gucci thong.
He does. It's, without a doubt.
First episode, it started out
Yeah.
as a Brazilian.
It
Second
did.
episode, it's
Yeah.
a coochie thong. The third
That's-
episode, it
it's-
shouldn't even been there because it
It's
wasn't
just
there.
it's a clit hugger by the time you get to that one. So the
which is one of the best voted in America. One of the
well, I
best
mean,
type
especially
of
for
hugger.
video games.
Right.
So Suzu, the sister, she lived, but her brother died. Whatever. So Saki, he like the guy that at the end of the first episode says, "Please, someone come stop me." Right? He proclaims he wants to
Yes.
be stopped. So then that guy decides that he's going to take 2 Caizer stones and fuse them together and make Suzu more powerful, which is the antithesis to a guy who wants to be stopped. But that's okay because they almost want to try to explain that later. So.
Yeah. Well, they don't ever explain why she has an aversion to clothes.
I don't know what that deal is.
Barbarism.
I don't know what it is.
I guess she didn't want the coochie thong, so she said,
Yeah, there you go.
I might as well just go naked.
So
coochie
here
thong."
here we go. All right, so Isato tries to throw away his Caizer stone because he's like, "Fuck
Mhm.
this," and he gets stopped by Cash, and Karen seems to think she has something to say of value, and then Cash says exactly what Brian said, and it's fucking beautiful. And then Cash gives some background info dump. I really don't care. I was really like out of it.
Actually, we need to talk about this info dump.
Okay, go ahead. Because I was
Because-
going to talk about the Kaiser Stone part. Would you
Oh,
start?
no.
Talk about
Because
the info dump.
This info dump actually sets up a later moment of fuck you, and because
Yes.
you have to go through it, it's important to talk about. Apparently, Cash is a musical genius.
Right. It's like
It
a
comes from
protege.
Yeah. He comes from a
Yeah.
family of
Mhm.
musical geniuses, and
yes.
it
You
is
Go
guys
on.
with a harmonica?
Yes.
you're skipping on it, but that's actually the fuck you. That's actually the fuck you.
without a doubt.
That's the fuck you.
That's the fuck you.
You
Yeah,
know,
they
so like
spend
he's
all this.
traveling, he's sitting there pretending to be Blues Traveler.
So they spend all this time building him up as some kind of musical protege. Yeah, he's like from a family of musical proteges. I'm like, this really does not matter, but tight.
Should have done
they
the tongue tongue things. You know, done that mouth tongue tongue.
like Snoopy at the little. Oh shit!
And we're
I don't
expecting
remember- I don't
not
know what
only
that-
that, we're expecting like you're gonna turn this whatever
Yeah.
instrument you decide to whip out,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be you're gonna be Prince.
Right.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
That's it.
You're supposed to be that good. And the
Yeah, without
one
a
he
doubt.
chooses
Yes. Yeah.
is the harmonica.
Yeah, I mean Kermit plays it better. So look, it's it's not ideal. So he talks about Kaiser stones. This is what I was talking about earlier, where it's an info dump that doesn't make any sense. He says Kaiser stones are red because they're made with blood, but like not really. It's that they're stained with blood from Masaki's inner turmoil, but not real blood. It's actually the screams of his spirit's will to survive. And Isato says the quiet part out loud. He goes, "I have no idea what you mean." it's like, bro, fucking nobody knows what you're talking about at this point. So then he's like, let's try it in layman's term. It's like when you forge a sword, you always forge an evil sword, so that way your sword's the good sword. It's like I'm like, nobody fucking forges 2 swords. What the fuck are you talking about? You forge 1 sword. What are you talking about? Stop talking, Cash.
He's talking cash shit.
Pretty. Just
He's
look
talking
pretty.
cash money bullshit.
Well, you know, you got a musician in air quotes trying to describe the Kaiser stones.
it was a thing where I'm like, you're right, Cash. The more beautiful you are, the less you should say. Stop
That
talking.
was the quiet. Look, that was the quiet part out loud. That whole
Like-
part right there.
He finished speaking. Both characters were like,
Legit. I think
No,
Karen fell asleep.
not the characters.
Like I'm pretty sure she was.
fell asleep.
Not the
She fell
characters.
asleep.
All of us. All
Well,
of
all of
us.
us too.
Look, I
Yeah.
was looking at it like I've recognized this feeling. I'm look, I am trying my best to hold on to my conclusion. I'm trying my best. Please.
But I did laugh when
You're doing
Isato
great.
goes, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have
'Cause
no
that was
idea. I
great.
busted
My
out.
brain,
It's
and
good.
I said it out loud too. I was like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about. And all of a sudden he goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, oh.
It's like you've been vindicated.
I was 100% with you. Yes. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think that was the intrusive thoughts of him
Yeah.
saying, I'm gonna put all these words down here, and then just to let them know, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think
It's
those
like-
were the intrusive thoughts they got in.
It's like he let Donald Trump write that script. Like it was word salad. Like it went nowhere. Like
no. Again,
Well, it's great. Gash's
God.
speech was way more coherent.
I
so
refuse to believe that I'm actually in here saying that Donald does it better. I refuse to believe that this is the one where I'm giving him
So-
credit to say he
so-
does it better.
so basically,
They're eating the dogs. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
like stage 9 cancer was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, so the planet's in danger by an evil force. Isato sums it up better than anyone. So the planet's in danger by an evil force. Tight, we got this. And Karen wants to go, but is told no. And I'm like, perfect. And this is absolutely why she ends up a hentai villain later. And Vic can tell you all about it. So Kyosuke and Shia are talking. They've got some kind of relationship. They're trying to make that a thing. It's really not landing. They just didn't spend nearly enough time making Shia worthwhile at all to make that matter. They tried like hell. She sucks. I'm sorry, she just does. Kyosuke breaks
He got
into
beat by a door.
dude. Yes, she got beat by a fucking door. She sucks. So
Not
Kyosuke
just
breaks
beat by-
into that place after she breaks the door and knocks the fuck out. And he ends up finding a bunch of purple people eaters. These purple people eaters pop up. He has to fight them all, whatever. Then you get another flashback, and Kyosuke's angry for thinking thoughts about Shia because he gives her an earring. I'm like, this is fucking pointless. And then they whatever. Isato shows up to save Kyosuke, and Cash shows up too. Whatever. Karen. Oh, and then there's a scene that's useless where Karen's fighting purple people eaters. Don't know why it's there, but it's there.
Not
Killer
like the purple
face.
pizza. It's pointless.
It is. So Suzu's back. Wonder Twins power. She turns into Metamucil slave, and I'm like, all right, cool. Now she's just basically wearing a couple pieces of armor. This, I swear
Alright.
to God, this whole anime was a beta test for Angel Blade. That's all this was. Every
Can I-
character in this
alright.
is a baseline for that.
Can I just say,
Go ahead. We are
this
2
is
parts in. now.
mindless midlife musings
Yes.
of the anime nerd, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It implies that we are midlife.
That we
Mhm.
sadly are.
The problem is Metamucil has now become our ally, and you keep on besmirching its name.
Dude, that's what they. That's what the. I don't. I
I
could
mean-
not.
Right? Was it
It's-
Metamucil or
Meta
Metasol?
something. Meta. I just said Metamucil. As soon as they meta something, I was like Metamucil. Got it.
Well,
look,
now I can't remember
metamorphing.
because
They could
Yeah.
do
my
what
old brain is
metamorphing. How about metamorphing?
That was not morphin time. They were not doing. That was
No.
not. No. It was
They
Metamucil.
morphed the
No.
entire time. They started out, then they morphed.
Yes, they are. They did.
They're
Without
not
a doubt.
mighty
But
morphin. They're
Now she-
metamorphing.
now she's by herself, and she metamorphed into armored
They-
slave version.
Don't you feel better?
Yeah. No, he's giving her
Okay.
too much credit.
Yeah, she didn't.
No,
it's
I'm
not-
giving us credit. I'm
Look.
giving us credit.
Kyosuke, I'm putting this bitch back on the tracks. Kyosuke has probably the most interesting backstory in this, and that is saying something. It's a very low bar. He isn't the main character, but for some reason, I don't know why he should be the main character. Osaki, the main villain, killed his sister and has been like waiting for 3 years to face Kyosuke, and he did it to like awaken Kyosuke's power, which is not Caizer Stone based. He's the only character in this who is apparently not using a fucking Caizer Stone of some kind. And he's facing off against his brother-in-law because Osaki married his sister and then killed Kyosuke's sister. And I was like, that's insane. This is main character story arc. How is he not the main character? Anyway, Osaki turns into like a god. Whatever. Doesn't
honestly
matter.
speaking, you were right when I said Dawson. It's not supposed to be Dawson. It is more, if anything, it's more Chung Lee.
There you go.
He killed
that.
his father.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's his sister thing. Yeah, it's a Chun-Li kind of story arc. I give you that.
And
I like that.
Really, this is basically Street Fighter 1996 with M. Bison talking about the day, you know,
Yeah.
Raul Julia comes and
Yeah.
says, the day
Yeah.
I decided on your ability to kill your people, well, this was the worst day in your life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. That's it. That's this. That's this speech.
Right.
So, Isato, the fighter, he and Cash are fighting Suzu, metamorphin slave, just for you.
Thank
Brian.
you.
And they're fighting her, and the Cash and her are like fisticuffs, and it's like a thing. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, Isato is suddenly a pacifist who doesn't want to fight her anymore because she's on a murderous rampage, and the only thing he can do he killed her brother, but still, so he's decides the only way to stop the fight, other than whooping ass, is to give up and let her fuck him up. So he does. Cool.
Caizer, Voltage Fighter, Voltage
Right.
Pacifist.
Voltage, fuck it all. So she explodes and then lays around naked for Isato and Cash to try and save her life. Barely an inconvenience, doesn't matter. That plot is done. He basically Cash rubs his stone on her stone and they're all better. Sana kolita. Anyway, Kyosuke and Osaki continue their fight. But they stop because Osaki has to say some metaphysical bullshit that doesn't matter. And Kyosuke's bitch shows up and gets a hole punched into her beautifully.
Easily.
And Kyosuke
Super
uses
easy.
that opportunity. Super, barely an inconvenience. Kyosuke uses that opening to stab Osaki and win the fight. Good for Osaki. We're all happy for him.
Here we are with Kaguya Otsutsuki coming in now.
So, from his corpse, this noseless demon bitch awakens and starts monologuing about her existence and to destroy Earth, yada, yada, yada. So, like, basically what I got out of it was like, you know how everyone has invasive thoughts? Like how maybe we've had a good run as humanity or we should go extinct or, you know, I should punch the barista for fucking on my coffee order or whatever. Apparently enough people had the invasive thought of Earth should be destroyed at some point that it gave birth to this bitch. That's pretty much how I deciphered the storyline.
Now, we have to talk about the amount of people, the percentage of people that's necessary for this to happen.
They didn't give a number, though.
They didn't because, honestly speaking,
Yeah.
say us four. Right?
Yeah.
They basically would assume that one or all four of us have had that thought that it's time for the Earth to go.
Right. We
I've
had that
never
invasive
had that. Yeah, I've never had that thought.
You haven't?
Never.
I'm the
I
guy
have.
because I've totally had that thought.
So we're already at 50%. We're already boned.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to look.
We already
I'm not even
generated
gonna
demon
ask
bitch.
Vic.
She's
I'm
here.
not going to ask Vic because. So basically, I just ponyoed the world for you.
You just that's
Yeah.
it. So Isato's back and he's all Caizer go when they start their fight again. And okay, I wrote the note at this point, Lynette, just because this is the thing. The jiggle physics were ridiculous at this point. The two girls were talking and they were standing still and their breasts were moving randomly. Just
It's supposed to be consoling
you
each
know
other.
what?
It's like an animator
right?
just got a little
Ridiculous.
happy animating.
Ridiculous.
Cough or breathe.
It wasn't even like a dramatic turn or nothing. It was just like, hi. I'm
That shit
gesturing
happens
to
to me
the
all the
listeners.
time.
I am gesturing.
Outfits got smaller and
Oh my
tighter
God.
as things were going. I was like,
There was
How?
at that point. It was like, this is ridiculous. We've left the reservation. This is calm your tits. That was literally calm your tits. That's what that is. Oh my God.
I didn't even hear what they were saying. I was too busy
I
going, what
couldn't.
the hell is happening?
You know what? I couldn't focus. Like, what
Well,
is
they were
what?
supposed to. They were
I was like Golden
consoling
Boy.
each
My
other.
eyes are just following everything.
I felt like Cookie Monster. Ooh, this way, not the way. Gonna keep up. Yeah, it would be fucking Marty Feldman to look at those. All right, so it's at this point that Cash saves Isato with a fucking harmonica solo, and then they team.
Oh, yo,
they
look,
team
so look. I'm not mad that he chose the harmonica.
right.
I'm not mad at that. Right. But again, like you mentioned, he came up with a Blues Traveler solo. I would have been impressed with that. Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder would have been impressed. There are so many
Sure.
people
Yep.
who use the harmonica.
Without a doubt.
How the fuck is Cash, who is, like Lynette said, hentai gambit? So he's supposed to be from the fucking bayou. And the most rudimentary harmonica solo he plays.
Okay, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's pretty much what he did.
You motherfucker.
It
Fuck
wasn't even
you.
bad.
That's great.
It was like the first few bars of Joy to the World, and that's it.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't even make up for it.
Yeah.
Sato got a Sailor Girl transformation. Why
sure
couldn't
did.
Hentai Gambit get one?
He didn't get one.
I was waiting for it. I was like, I'm so for this
Yeah.
transformation. What
Yeah,
the
I
hell?
didn't give
I
it to you.
touch it.
Nope.
I want my
Nope.
That
money
was the
back.
only
So-
thing that gained Lynette's attention the entire series was Hentai Gambit.
Dude, look.
Seriously.
Anyway, now we're in Act 3 of Act 3, and Isato's like axe kicks bitch in the head. I dig it, that was cool. Kyosuke is dying, but not, and then like Osaki shows him the way out, but it's okay because it's the good one, not the evil one that he killed, because they've clearly established that. And this is me eye rolling for the listeners.
I
So now
heard it.
Kyosuke uses Osaki's power to kill Demon Bitch, but then Isato
Doesn't
and
kill him
Cash,
because Demon Bitch talk shit.
right? So Isato and Cash get to do like a dive bomb puncher in the head, killing teamwork, dual Hadoken dive move thing to whatever. She dies. Oh,
Yeah,
and
they
then
did the
and
dragon
No.
bat.
that thing, and then Kyosuke's hair gel finally gave up on life in the last
Yes.
scene.
'Cause
His
it goes-
hair's down, and I'm like, oh shit, his hair is down. He's like a different guy now. I literally was like, wait, is that supposed to be? Oh, I get it. His hair's down now. It was just I was amazed.
Once
That's
you
it. The
remove a
day's
stick
saved.
up your ass, that normally happens.
That's without a doubt. The day's saved. That's it. End credits roll on episode 3. That's Gowcaizer.
Everybody
good.
gets a girl.
Everybody gets a girl. You may have to carry them home, but you get a girl. You got a girl. Oh man, dude, listen. This anime. I'm gonna give you one mindless musing, and I'm gonna let Vic have his mindless musing because his mindless musing is pretty fun. My mindless musing is fucking Maximilian Genus, the voice actor Sho Hayami, plays Osaki in the Japanese dub of this anime. Because everything is Macross.
It's like everything.
All right.
Oh,
The guy who plays
Vic.
Max.
The guy who voices Max for all of Macross, every version, up and even the most recent ones, he was the voice of Osaki, the main villain in this anime. Sho Hayami.
How does that make you feel?
Well, my therapist says I have problems with acceptance, and no, I just thought it was a funny tidbit because one of the points I plan on making in my upcoming panel is that Macross has affected so much of anime that anime you like has had somebody from that staff work on it, has been in it, or has worked with somebody that worked on it, or you know what I mean? Like it's this silent, powerful force in anime that people don't even know about over here.
It's, what is it?
Not
6
all
ways
pins.
Kevin Bacon?
It's
You know
6
that
degrees.
type
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. You can do 6 degrees to Macross with any anime. I swear to God, you can.
And you'll
Enough,
find
fair enough,
something.
fair
So
enough, fair enough.
anyway, it was a fun note. So Vic's note is about hentai, and I think
It's
great.
not really that big of a note. It's just a
I
light
just
note.
think it's funny.
But It does not involve hentai gamut, so I'm sorry, Lynette.
Sadly.
It's the depression that came over her.
Yeah.
We have to talk. We need to.
I'm sad about this.
But like Rick
Lynette, it's
said
gonna be okay.
earlier, it's like obviously this was a precursor to Angel Blade, the hentai series, because both Shia and Karen are an Angel Blade. They're not the same character, but they look the same. They're named the same. Well, they got multiple names apparently, but
Yeah.
it's the same physical character.
It's the same fucking
Directed
character.
by the same guy, the same creator, same everything.
They repurposed those characters into
Those
a
two.
hentai. Those two. And actually more. All right.
And
Here we go.
it's funny because Angel Blade is actually animated better.
It is, without a doubt. So here we go. All right, listen. The OVA is what we all watched. The international version is the movie cut. There is a difference between the two. It is not just we cut out the credits and we released it. It is a legitimately
better or worse?
different thing. The international version has an intro, an opening animation, like a anime intro, right? And it has an additional scene with a character that isn't in the OVA, a character named Necrocaizer. Necrocaizer has a whole scene where she talks to the character Isato, and she's the one that convinces Isato to take a pacifistic approach to stop Suzu. That's stopping Suzu by not fighting her and by letting her release her grief or whatever. Like, that's the way to do it. She's the reason he does that. It's not in the OVA. She's also the one that gave Isato his Caizer stone. So she shows up in this vision and she gives him this pep talk not to fight Suzu. It's like a whole thing. I watched the international version because I said, what could possibly be so different? They also omitted several pointless scenes. They cut scenes, they added this scene, right? And they also restructured the movie so that the scenes flow better. So, like, the flashback is attached to a scene that's relevant to that flashback. And, like,
Instead of the random jumps it had a couple of times?
Yeah, so they pieced it in an order that aids the narrative as little as that narrative is. So the scenes they cut were the weird 80 police battle prologue thing that happens at the beginning of episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I just called it the 80 police prologue because that's what it felt like. The weird Fudo meets with the council, talks about the equator thing. That whole scene's fucking gone from the movie version.
Because it didn't need to be there to begin with.
Didn't need to be. The Metamucil twins, their backstory, that shit's cut. That's not in there. And Karen fighting the Purple People Eaters, that's not in there either because it was another pointless. Like, they took all that crap out and then they put in this scene with this character, Necrocaizer. Now, Necrocaizer is relevant. Here's why. Necrocaizer is also an Angel Blade. Now, Shia is a character, right, in both, and Karen is the same character. She's just got shorter hair and a different color costume, whatever. She can grow a penis. It's a whole thing. But Necrocaizer, the character, her alter ego is Elfie Elfman, which is the name of a character in Angel Blade. But the design of this character, she's got like angel wings like coming out of her head, and she's got long hair, and she got like this BDSM outfit thing going on. Her character gets like a demonic version of her character turned into the villain in Angel Blade, Gowcaizer. So Necrocaizer from Voltage Fighter Gowkaizer gets in color swapped, her palette swapped into Gowcaizer, a demon, a dick sprouting demon character from Angel Blade. Something's wrong
Angel
with
Blade came out
Masami.
like 5 years later.
Something is very wrong with Masami Obari. I don't know what it is. I think he needs help because Angel Blade is basically like a collection of characters from all his other work. There's a Mai Shiranui character in it. There's a character from Virus Buster Surge, it's like this pink hair cop girl. She's from Virus Busters. It's like everything every throwaway character he could possibly get his hands on from other anime projects he's worked on, he took and he fucking put them in this hentai like that came out. I forgot when the fuck it came
So
out.
Joe Higashi's in there as well.
Dude, fucking everybody's in this shit. It's weird. It's just something's wrong with the boy. I hope he's all right. I hope he got some help. You know who's not in it though is nobody from Tekken Man Blade, so something's okay. I think he at least he knew where to draw the line.
He's got steady work since, so.
Yes, there's shit tons of freeze frame nudity in this. If you've ever watched a Masami Obari cartoon, a female character is getting thrown or moving or her boobs are waving at you, something's popping
Or
out.
transforming, yeah.
You freeze frame and there's nipples and crotch and there's all kinds of nudity in this. If you can stomach this anime long enough for that, you can find all kinds of that stuff. So those are all my crazy notes. There's this weird Inception style thing with Masami Obari, and it's like his magnum opus is this Angel Blade hentai thing, and everything he worked on like built up to this. It's weird. It's a thing. I don't know what to tell you. You guys ready to wrap? You guys ready to give me some thoughts on this? Let's final thought the fuck out of Voltage Fighter Gowkaizer. Brian, I want to let you go, man. You feel like
no, you're not gonna do it to me.
Okay.
You're not gonna do it to me.
All right.
He wants to wait because he wants to make sure no one's gonna screw him over this time.
I'll let Vic go first then. Vic?
Okay. Note. While, Obari's been working on stuff since the 80s. I love a lot of the stuff he's done. He's done a lot of mecha design. He's done a lot of character design. I like his design work. It's not the worst game, but the game itself is actually not horrible. It's not bad. But this anime is not good. It's messed up because if you think about it, especially the OAV, since those came out first, you imagine being there in 1996 in Japan, you get the OAVs, and it's like, there's only two ways you would know anything about any of the characters. And that would be either A, you would have to own the Neo Geo cartridge, right? Not even the arcade version. You need the cartridge, home cartridge, which, those were $200 to $300 a pop back then. Or you'd have to have the guidebook, which I have right here, guidebook. And without either one, in 97, you wouldn't know squat about any of the characters.
Facts.
So it's like, how are you supposed to enjoy it if you have no idea what's going on, why they're in it, what's happening?
Right.
It's like, and it gets worse because, animation quality-wise, it's very similar to like the first two Fatal Fury films, where it's obviously his design, but the animation quality is, it'll
all
have
over the
its
place.
moments where it's good, but the rest of it is meh at best.
Yeah.
But I mean, SNK loves him. I mean, they brought him back for
They do.
King of Fighters 15 as well as City of the Wolves, which just came out a couple of weeks ago at the time of recording. He even directed a series just last year called Big Bang Bravern.
Yeah.
Which was actually, it was a very, very 80s feeling show.
Yeah.
Even down to the music. But so it's like he's got good stuff. It's like, unfortunately, the Gowcaizer anime was not one of them. And it's disappointing because, I mean, even the guide that I have came with a little video CD or CD video, which had, an animation sequence that not in the anime, and it's actually better looking and better animated. But it was pretty much one of those stupid loops that you would have in like game shops in Japan, where, you get a 3 to 5 minute loop and then they show some gameplay footage and then you buy the game or it just goes on loop forever.
Right.
That was animated significantly better than the show, and it's sad. But yeah, I feel like this isn't just worth the watch at all. It's not worth the time or effort, unfortunately. If you want a Gowcaizer fix, play the game before even spending the time on this.
Yeah, decide if they're even worth your time. The characters.
And it's like, there was a PlayStation 1 version released after the anime, but by then I'm pretty sure the anime would have killed anyone's want of anything of this.
Will to live.
No, not that bad. That's what you got 3x3 eyes for.
Hold up. I have a question regarding this, but I'm going to save it till we've all talked, and then we can all answer the question together.
Okay.
Lynette, I'll let you go next because Brian clearly wants to wait as long as possible before submitting his thoughts. How did you feel about Gowcaizer?
I don't know what's going on. That's pretty much.
Lynette's just like anti-gambit drool, and that's it.
Yeah, I was just like, it was just a lot of eye candy. You're just gonna like I said, as soon as I saw Hentai Gambit, I said, okay, I'm for this. Let's see what happens. But really, after that, I was just like, I don't know what's going on. that's not physically possible. She's gonna put out her own eye, and if what is this dude doing in a sports bra and booty shorts? But it's cool. Equal opportunity. Wear what you want to wear.
That's it. You do you.
So that's what I will say is like this anime was very equal opportunity. You had the chick eye candy, you had the dude eye candy all over the place. It was great. That was awesome. Certain fight scenes were great. Like I always love it when they do like the laser into the
Yeah.
dirt and then it's like 2 seconds later the everything that type of stuff. I love those things, like certain pieces. And then of course there's the proportion. You got the teeny tiny head, the big old
Mhm.
shoulders, Every once in a while that went out, but
Without a
really
doubt.
I can sum up the whole thing is in what I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. It's pretty much
It's
what
like
I
that one meme with the captain goes, huh?
yeah, and I will say they could have saved it all if they gave us a hentai gambit transformation, but they did not.
They
So
didn't.
now
That's it.
they lost a star. They were at 2 stars.
Down. No,
Now
one.
now they lost now they're at
1
1 star.
star. Bastards.
So that's it. That's mine.
All right. Brian, are you ready?
I think I am, and
All right.
I can honestly say what this is, but I need a little music. Okay, so
Okay. Hang on.
Well,
Boom, chicka, wow, wow. Oh, he brought his own. Oh my god. Oh, fucking hell.
this is Fatal Fury meets Dawson's Creek. Ah,
Oh my god.
this is look. There were days when I was watching Dawson's Creek, and in the words that they were saying was just, oh my gosh, you guys are supposed to be in high school talking like this. What the fuck? What are you even saying? It was way too many words just to say Dawson Pacey's cheating on somebody again. You know what I'm saying? And even when you try to break that down, the example that you're using, nobody uses that fucking example either. So you have to try to break it down one more time. And if you try to break it down, we just all say the quiet part out loud. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Right? This is nothing but a bunch of just pretentious douchebags talking at us and then trying to throw a Hadouken in it. And we're supposed to be happy with the Zugo physics in it. And none of
Oh,
it
man.
fucking matches.
Yeah.
None of it matches. They try to do something different here where they want to put everybody's backstory into the movie and
Yep.
you're supposed to watch it and follow everybody's fucking backstory, but A does not have to do anything with B. B
Yep.
doesn't have to do anything to do with C. And come to find out, C is fucking pie. I mean,
And what's even worse, Brian, you don't even get any of the backstory.
no,
Yeah,
get
Little
nothing.
tidbits, and that's it.
Yeah. They really.
You have to show the work, especially if you're going to spend 24 minutes
Yep.
before the first fight.
Yep.
You
Yep.
you need to do the fucking work.
You have
And
24 minutes.
20 like I was like, what the fuck are they saying? What?
Yeah. That's it.
Now,
Oh,
I'm
man.
watching this as a midlifer,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And at some I could only have imagined if I got my hands on this back in 1995 when I had first graduated fucking high school. I
Sure.
would have been so fucking lost.
Oh, man.
Oh my
I-
god.
It's so I did watch it back then, and I can honestly tell you the plot didn't matter because I was too busy watching the jiggles because they were everywhere.
Words. Look, words.
Yeah,
You're not
that
going
was
to
it.
understand them.
Yeah.
And it's just the audacity to come back and say, you know what, I'm going to try to explain it to you in layman's terms.
Oh my, yeah, dude.
Mm.
When he fucking said that, and then the next thing out of his mouth was even dumber, I lost my goddamn mind.
You didn't even get the layman's terms.
My problem is the intention that has to go into animation is way more than I would say for motion picture or something like that. It has to be drawn that way. You have
Yeah.
an eraser. You could erase this part. You know what I'm saying? The words have to be spoken, and person who did the English version of this had to read those words, comprehend them first.
Right. And localize them into English.
Right. And then say, this is what came out. And it's horrible. It's horrible. It makes it
It is.
unwatchable.
Yeah.
But because we do our due diligence, and I did it, and I speak English, and I don't know what the fuck they were saying.
Facts.
Stop.
Whoa! You speak English?
I
Dude,
speak
listen,
English.
man. Oh my god, I feel that in my bones. Listen, I'm gonna just across the board. This anime's ass. This anime's terrible. It's really bad. I will tell you that I watched both versions, the OVAs and the international version. I will tell you that the international version is like a director's cut, and it is the only way I could possibly conceive recommending watching this anime. Watching the OVAs was an exercise in madness. It was it was painful.
It's almost like I think they were trying to make the point what Nose bitch was trying to say. At the end of this movie, you're going to want the world to burn.
Basically. The international version, the movie version that was re-edited by the Central Park Media US Megacore team, improves it. That is a low bar for them to have passed, but they did it. And I will tell you, I'm not saying it's good. I want to be very clear. The international version, the movie version, is not good, but it's better than the OVAs.
Let's put it like this: we have all talked about the travesty of Robotech, the tragedy of Robotech.
Indeed,
you are basically saying this is the one time Robotech got it right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. This is the one time where the localization team said, "Holy shit, this is insane and makes no sense. We have to restructure this," and they cut it together in such a way that makes more sense. I'm not saying it makes sense, but it makes more sense.
It's
still ass. It's the only way I could possibly recommend anyone watching it. And you damn well better be a Gowcaizer fan before you pick this. It is not worth your time. As far as video game anime are concerned, we've watched a lot of video game anime here, mindless midlife musings, and it might be the worst. But I'm going to put it to a vote. Is this worse
Time
than
out.
Samurai Showdown or Art of Fighting?
Well, I would probably watch this again before watching Samurai Showdown.
We all collectively. We all
That is the ultimate question here. Will this be crowned the worst video game anime? Or does it still belong to either Samurai Showdown or Fighting?
I have to ask the question.
Go ahead.
Is there another video game anime that we can watch that could possibly usurp this? Because I don't want to have this conversation again.
I don't know, man.
That's
I don't know.
Possibility.
It is a possibility. There are other video game anime we have not watched yet. And
by video game anime, do you mean it was a video game first, then an anime, or an anime that got a video game?
No, it is an anime based on a video game.
Okay.
Like for instance, we still haven't watched Darkstalkers.
Correct. We have not watched Darkstalkers. Yeah. So there's still at least one more, and there are more than that. That's just the one off the top of my head.
More.
Yeah, but that is like.
And I think we need to talk about when we're making.
I mean, let's remember, Battle Team Lakers EX is an anime based on a video game, so it's also a video game anime. It's not a fighting game anime, but it is a video game anime.
I think I blacked out. Did we review that one?
This question is like asking if crickets taste better if you dip them in chocolate.
So I will reframe. Is this the worst fighting game anime? Because there's a lot of video game anime, but is this the worst fighting game anime? Samurai Showdown, Art of Fighting.
If you're qualifying it as a fighting game anime, then yes, because there was no fighting really. It was
You're
like
saying
it was
you
like
thought
80-20.
Right, Rick?
It was like 80-20.
I'm pretty sure we're
fight.
premature because Battle Arena Toshinden exists as well.
yeah, we're not. We're not done. We still have to
Another
watch.
Obari design.
We have to watch Ballerina to Shinden still. That's another one. So as of right now, is this worse than Samurai Showdown? Is this worse than Art of Fighting?
Again,
We
I
have to
think I
answer
would
this
rather
question
watch this
for
before
our
Samurai Showdown.
listeners.
Do you like roasted crickets with or without chocolate? Or do
Can I
you
have
like
this
roasted
chocolate on its
crickets with salsa? I mean,
Salsa. Jesus. With pico de gallo?
Exactly.
this is the question that we're getting.
Yes,
Do you like
this is
roasted
it.
crickets plain with salsa or chocolate? And you have to tell me which one is a chocolate covered cricket.
We owe it to our listeners to tell them which cricket has chocolate and which one has salsa.
You know, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say based on physical physics alone.
Yeah.
On that alone, and because
On
we
that
have
alone.
so much of it,
All of it.
it might be better than Fatal Fury.
All right. So you're putting it up there. So you're
Oof.
saying it's better than Samurai Showdown, better than the Fatal Fury series. This is above them for you. Only because of the jiggle physics.
Only because of jiggle physics. I mean,
Oh,
what'd you call it? Freeze frame slips.
Oh
What
yeah,
did you call it?
yeah. Freeze frame nudity.
Freeze frame nudity.
Yeah, freeze frame nudity. Plenty of
Oh
that.
god, I totally forgot.
yeah.
Dragon Knight exists as well.
What's that?
Dragon Knight exists as well.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
like
sir.
how you changed it from video game anime to fighting game anime.
I had to help because there is a lot of like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I'm on a very long list right now.
Yeah, so we're going to stick with fighting game anime. So now, Vic, you haven't answered the question, or if you did, I was laughing too hard.
Yes.
Is this worse than Samurai Showdown or Art of Fighting?
I would watch this again before Samurai Showdown.
All right.
Art of Fighting is not as long, so that would probably be a toss-up. I mean, I would rather not watch either one, but if I were drinking, it'll probably be the jiggle physics that'll win it out. But definitely better than Samurai Showdown.
All right, Lynette.
I am happy about that.
Lynette,
Yeah,
Lynette,
Greg,
where do
on
you?
one thing.
This
And the
one, this
reason
one's
why.
the chocolate. This
This
one's
is the
the
chocolate
chocolate
covered?
cricket.
This is the
This is a
chocolate cricket.
chocolate cricket.
All
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
Okay, so
mostly and mostly just because of the eye candy. There wasn't a
There
lot
you
of
go.
fighting. So
that's
it's
fair. That is
painful. I don't want to watch any of them, but you get hentai gambit in this
There
one.
you do.
So
You do.
you can.
I'm proud of all of you. You've answered the hard question. That is a
hurt.
difficult question. It is.
That hurt.
Yeah. So
I like
There you
I
have
like
it.
the fact that look, it's not very often, especially in these Ponyo situations, where Vic and I can land on the same accord, and I want
Yeah.
to celebrate that.
Yes, this is
that's
definitely
worth
not
noting.
a Kanye situation.
Look, this is
I got your
all
back
right.
this time, Brian.
Without a doubt, in just to throw my hat into this too, I agree. This is the chocolate covered cricket. This is significantly better than Art of Fighting. It is significantly better than Samurai Showdown. It is still terrible,
Fucking ass.
but it is the chocolate covered cricket without a doubt. That's what this is.
Can I
so,
can I make a confession?
yeah,
Yes.
go for it.
I had to apologize to my wife
Okay.
as
That
I've
happens.
been watching this with her, and I
Oh.
started watching it, and I just started getting lost.
Bless your heart.
And then I just looked at her, and when I turned, she was looking at me.
Like, what the fuck
Fuck.
did you make me watch?
Like, I could hear her saying, "We said for better or worse was not supposed to include this."
I'm so sorry for Lynette. She watched this. I'm so sorry for Angel that you watched this. I'm sorry for any person, any woman that had to sit
No,
through
no,
this
no,
nonsense.
no. I'm sorry. No.
It's okay.
She
I was
didn't.
here for the hentai gambit.
That's
It was
fair.
fine.
That's
No,
fair.
She didn't watch it. She was
Yeah.
judging me for watching it. Like,
Oh,
I could
man.
honestly see her looking at me of like, "This is who you were in high school. We would never be a thing."
Yeah. I messaged my wife in the other room, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is terrible. Like, what am I doing to myself right now? Yeah.
When you told me made it to the second part, and
Yeah.
I was so happy to see the second credits, I was like, yes.
I figured I had to warn you. I was like, I know Brian, he says he stops as soon as he sees credits. I better warn him. He's not done.
Look, I did it to the first one. I was like, man, I think I need to keep going because the credits hit,
Yeah.
and I knew it said like it was like an hour or something, hour and 45 minutes. And I
Yeah.
knew the credits hit, and I was like, no, it has to be more than that. I got lost in the time warp that I thought that the rest of the other 30 minutes had to have been. I didn't care that the
Yeah.
fight didn't finish and they were left with burned knuckle.
You're just
and
like,
I
be done.
didn't give a fuck.
I'm so done. Oh, man. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, guys. That's going to do it for our show today. So until next time, keep calm and Caizer, go away. Go away. Please go away.
No way.
Go Caizer.
You've just been privy to the mindless midlife musings of the anime nerd, presented by Geek Grotto. For show notes and corrections, or for general geeky fun, you
Go
can
that
visit
way.
our website at
Go
geek-grotto.com.
that
If you're listening to
Going
us
that
on your
way.
favorite
You go
podcast
that
app,
way.
please like, follow,
go.
and subscribe.
No.
Continue to go.